Hello, everyone. Welcome. We'll just get started in about 1 to 2 minutes to get people time to join before we start today's webinar. Thank you for your patience. Hello again, everyone. Welcome. We're just getting started in about 1 minute to get folks time to join before we start today's webinar. As a reminder, please do not use AI note taker for today's webinar. Thank you very much. All right, it's 2:02, so we're getting started. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to our June All Stakeholder webinar for the Summer EBT program known as SunBucks. My name is Shanshan Chen, and I am an analyst on the SunBucks team. I'll hand it over to Valeria, who will help us get started. So she will go over our meeting controls and cover a few housekeeping slides. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Shanshan. Hello, my name is Valeria Bone Montoya. I am an analyst here with the SunBucks program. As you may have noted, this is a Zoom webinar. This webinar will be held in listen-only mode. The meeting invitation also provides the option to connect to audio via phone or computer, depending on your preference. This webinar will be recorded. As soon as the recording becomes available, you may follow the YouTube link on the SunBucks webpage or go to the CDSS YouTube website to access the video recording. Next slide, please. While this webinar is in listen-only mode, you can ask about the program and today's content by using the Q&A section. To do so, select the Q&A button located on the toolbar at the bottom of your screen. You're welcome to submit a question at any time during the webinar, and they will be collected and answered at the end of the webinar during the Q&A period. Next slide, please. We're also offering the chat feature in addition to the Q&A. Please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. Please share your name, location, and organization if applicable. Note that when using this feature, you have the option to select everyone, which is the default, or you can select a specific participant to send your chat to. If you have any logistical issues, you can use the chat function to ask for support for one of our co-hosts, Ruben Guerra, who is handling logistics today. To do this, please go to Meeting Controls, select Ruben Guerra in the dropdown, type in your logistic question and hit Enter. Ruben will then respond and provide you with an answer to your question. Please note The chat feature is to be used for logistical questions only. All questions should be so we can keep track of, respond to, and document the questions. Next slide, please. In today's meeting, we will provide a brief background and an overview of SunBucks to ensure everyone is on the same page. We will also share 2024 highlights, including 2024 usage statistics and outcome reports. We will also provide 2024 key information. We'll provide customer service and disaster response, and we will also discuss 2025 outreach campaigns. And as always, we will go over our next meeting and we will provide some time for questions and answers. And with that being said, I'll hand it over to Karen to get started. Next slide, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Karen Sesenya, and I am a manager on the SunBucks team. So first, we will go over a little bit of the background of the SunBucks program. Next slide, please. Thank you. Well, before we get into specifics, we will define terminology that is important to know for upcoming slides. One of the requirements for SunBucks eligibility is that a child attend a school that participates in the National School Lunch Program, also known as NSLP, or the School Breakfast Program, also known as S-EBT. The NSLP and S-EBT are federal programs available to qualifying schools that serve meals to students. It is overseen by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and administered by the California Department of Education. These programs are federal and state reimbursement programs for healthy, quality meals served at the school and meet federal requirements. Schools that operate NSLP and S-EBT are required to offer free or reduced price meals to eligible children. Another term we may refer to throughout this presentation is the summer operational period. For California, the 2025 summer operational period is June 1st through September 2nd. And this is due to September 1st being a holiday. The Department of Education reviewed all available school calendars and found that 90% of California schools are on break during this summer operational period timeframe. In California, the compulsory age to attend school for children is ages 6 through 18. So when we say school age, we are referring to children between the ages of 6 and 18. Lastly, you will hear CEP or Provision 2 school. CEP stands for Community Eligibility Provision School. CEP or Provision 2 schools allow the nation's highest poverty schools and districts to serve breakfast and lunch at no cost to all enrolled students without collecting family applications. Next slide, please. Thank you. So what are SunBucks? SunBucks is a program that helps families with school-age children buy groceries during the summer months when kids might not have access to school meals. In California, eligible kids receive one lump sum of $120 in SunBucks food benefits that are loaded onto an electronic benefit transfer card, or EBT card for short. And this is for the months of June, July, and August. These months are the summer operational period, or the time period that SunBucks are intended to help children meet their nutritional needs. SunBucks can be used just like a debit card to buy food like fruits, vegetables, meat, whole grains, and dairy at grocery stores, farmers markets, and other places that accept CalFresh. Children who get SunBucks can still participate in other summer meal programs. In short, the SunBucks benefits work like CalFresh benefits. And SunBucks cannot be used for hot foods, pet foods, cleaning or household supplies, personal hygiene items, or medicine. And as an important reminder, SunBucks benefits have no impact on immigration status. Families receiving SunBucks are not considered a public charge. Next slide, please. Here we have the SunBucks ABCs of eligibility, and these show the method through which a child can be determined eligible for SunBucks. Groups B and C in the mango color on the right are those that are automatically enrolled due to streamlined certification. These children include children receiving CalFresh, CalWorks, and Medi-Cal certified at or under 185% of the federal poverty level, or those who are certified for free or reduced price meals. That can be through direct certification, categorical eligibility, or NSLP SBP participation. A much smaller group of children is Group A, who are not streamlined certified, those in the tomato color on the left. These children need to apply by submitting a school meal application or universal benefit application, also called the UBA. Please be aware that some children who receive Medi-Cal may need to apply, and we'll go over the specific circumstances in the following slide. Next slide, please. So as we mentioned, not all children receiving Medi-Cal are streamlined certified for SunBucks. And this is because federal rules stipulate that to be automatically eligible for SunBucks, families must be certified with the household income at or under 185% of the federal poverty level. While there are many Medi-Cal recipients who meet this criteria, the automatic eligibility for SunBucks is a case for many children, but it's not true for everyone on the program. So for example, children who get supplemental security income or state supplementary payment, also known as SSI-SSP, or the adoption assistance program can also get Medi-Cal, but they may not be certified at or under 185% of the federal poverty level, and will need to apply at the child's school. And to apply, families must submit a school meal application or a UBA to their child's school by September 2nd. Next slide, please. CDE has released the Universal Benefits Application, also known as the UBA, in English through their website. We will also post a link in the chat. CDE and CDSS are actively working on translations for the application and will share as they become available. The UBAs are available for CEP and Provision 2 schools to make SunBucks eligibility determinations. Local educational agencies, or LEAs, will use the application template to customize their systems for distribution to families. The application is processed by LEAs to determine SunBucks eligibility, among other programs. As a reminder, the 2025-2026 income eligibility guidelines for reduced price meals also applies to SunBucks when determining eligibility using the UBA. The requirements are posted online, and we will share a link in the chat as well. Next slide, please. An important distinction must be made for California's Universal Meals Program, also called UMP. UMP provides free school meals to every child, regardless of income. Parents and guardians may confuse their child receiving free meals through UMP as enrollment in the free or reduced price meals program. The key distinction is that getting a free meal is not what makes children automatically eligible for SunBucks. Children are automatically eligible for SunBucks if they are certified eligible for federal NSLP or SBP. So UMP participants do not automatically get SunBucks and may need to submit a school meal application or a UBA with their child's school by September 2nd to be eligible for SunBucks if they do not meet the criteria for Group B or C in the eligibility slide discussed earlier. And with that said, Osmar will be going over our 2024 highlights. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Karen. Hello, everyone. My name is Osmar Meza, and I'm an analyst on the SunBucks team. The few next slides we have prepared for you will be covering SunBucks program highlights of 2024. Next slide, please. So first, we have here our latest benefit usage statistics from 2024. In our previous webinar, we mentioned that minimal changes were expected to our 2024 statistics, and that held true. This chart shows our most recent data as of May 27th, 2025. In total, families have pinned 4.3 million cards for a pin rate of 77%. The value of the benefits on those cards is a little over $517 million. And of those benefits, families have spent slightly more than $500 million, which is approximately 96.7% of the value of the pinned cards. A key takeaway from this table is that families across California that received and pinned their SunBucks EBT card used 97% of the benefits received. This highlights the importance of this program and the need that is out there in the community. The chart on the right looks at the total number of cards that we've mailed out. We have the same 4.3 million cards with pins selected. We also have a little over 344,000 cards that were undeliverable. This results in around 943,000 cards that were neither returned as undeliverable nor pinned. It's worth noting that some of those 943,000 cards may have gone to the wrong address due to bad data or to families moving. Some of whom may have called into the call center to get a replacement card. Moreover, some cards may have gone to families that simply chose not to participate in the program. Moving forward, we will no longer provide 2024 SunBucks statistics in our upcoming webinars. However, our finalized 2024 statistics will be published within our final outcomes report, which we anticipate to release in fall of 2025. We will discuss 2024 outcomes reports in the next slide. So please, next slide, please. Our 2024 preliminary report is available on the CDSS website. The link will be provided in the chat. A few key takeaways from this report include the $120 in SunBucks benefits can have a significant impact in addressing gaps in summer nutrition. While various summer meal programs are available, SunBucks provides an additional and vital resource to help ensure that every child's nutritional need is met. We believe that communication and collaboration with our partners is essential to getting the word out about the program and maximizing participation. And last but not least, accurate mailing addresses are critical to delivering benefits to eligible children. We stress the importance of keeping contact information up to date for benefit delivery and even for important messaging such as expungement notifications. As mentioned earlier, our 2024 final outcomes report will be released in fall of 2025. This report will include card issuance data by county. Now, I'll hand it over to Adriana for the 2025 key information. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Osmar, and hello, everybody. My name is Adriana Lechuga, and I am one of the managers on the SunBucks team. The next few slides, we will be covering key information for the 2025 SunBucks program. Next slide, please. Okay, now let's discuss how and when families can expect to receive their benefits. Families have begun receiving their SunBucks cards for 2025 as of this month. Now, due to the large volume of Streamline certified kids, issuances will occur in 2 stages. Stage 1 families will begin receiving their cards in June and will continue through July. This covers the kids in groups B and C who are Streamline certified. Cards will be mailed to children in alphabetical order, A through Z, based on last name. Stage 1 card issuances are expected to be completed by the end of July. For Stage 2 families, we anticipate that these families will begin receiving their cards as of this week. These issuances will address new eligibility determinations made in the summer operational period. This will include kids in Groups A, described earlier, who complete a universal benefits application or who become newly eligible through a summer meals application or the receipt of CalWORKs, CalFresh, and Medi-Cal. This stage will also include any new issuances as a result of a customer's inquiry. But regardless of when the card is mailed or received, every SunBucks card will be loaded with a full $120 per eligible child. Next slide, please. Now let's talk a little bit about 2025 issuance data. We estimate a total of 5.6 million SunBucks card issuances for 2025 through either streamlined eligibility or by application. As of today, we have issued 2.1 million SunBucks cards with 100,000 cards mailing out per day. For 2025 issuances, we estimate that 67% will be identified through data from the CalSAWS system, known as the California Statewide Automated Welfare System, specifically those children receiving CalFresh, CalWORKs, and Medi-Cal. This means that 33% will be identified through the California Longitudinal Pupil Achievement Data System, also known as CalPADS, which is used by schools and the Department of Education for free and reduced price meal eligibility. CalPADS data incorporates both these children who are streamlined certified by their school and those who must apply through a universal benefits application. In cases where a family participates in multiple programs that confer SunBucks eligibility, the SunBucks team has established a hierarchy to determine which address the card will go to. Children who are identified as eligible through both CalSAWS and CalPADS will get their card at the address listed in CalSAWS. So, for example, if a child was identified as eligible by the Department of Education, but they also receive CalWORKs, the mailing address on the CalWORKs case will take priority over the mailing address in the school system if they happen to be different. Next slide, please. Now, let's talk a little bit about Stage 1 issuances. The initial issuances of Streamlined Certified includes a total of 3,664,777 SunBucks eligible children in 2025. Including 3,321,181 children from CalSAWS data and 343,596 children from CalPADS data. Naturally, over 3.6 million cards are a lot to mail out, and we can't mail them all at once. This is why most folks identified as eligible for Stage 1 can expect to get their cards in June or July. We expect to identify more participants from each data source moving forward, including newly enrolled families in programs like CalFresh, CalWORKs, and Medi-Cal, as well as families that will apply via the UBA or the Universal Benefits application. Families becoming eligible via the UBA application will get their card during Stage 2. Next slide, please. Shifting now to the total eligible children identified so far. We wanted to provide you all with an update of how many children we have identified as eligible so far, beyond the initial issuance of streamlined certified children. So far, we've identified over 3.7 million children eligible to receive SunBucks in 2025, including over 3.3 million from CalSAWS data and over 350,000 from CalPADS data. These numbers represent an update from last month due to us identifying additional eligible children from another month's worth of data. Most of the children that have been identified as eligible to this point can expect to receive their cards in either June or July. We expect to identify more participants from each data source moving forward, including those newly enrolled in the programs like CalWORKs, CalFresh, and Medi-Cal, as well as those families that will apply through the UBA. Next slide, please. SunBucks benefits are provided on an EBT card as mentioned prior. One card is issued per eligible child for the entirety of the summer. On screen are the front and the back appearances of the 2025 SunBucks card. The card will be mailed directly to the child's address. For Stage 1 issuances, automatically enrolled children will begin receiving their cards as of this month. As a reminder, cards are mailed in alphabetical order by the child's last name, and you can find the card delivery schedule on the right. The card delivery schedule can also be found on the CDSS SunBucks webpage. Next slide, please. SunBucks benefits and expungement. So we issue benefits as a lump sum payment of $120 for each eligible child for the entirety of the summer. In general, SunBucks benefits are loaded onto the card within 3 days of the card being mailed out. The Code of Federal Regulation requires that benefits be expunged or removed 122 days from when the benefits are loaded onto the card. Benefits cannot be reloaded to the card once they have been removed. Therefore, families who also receive CalFresh should prioritize using their SunBucks card first before they expire. Families may contact the SunBucks helpline if they would like to know their card's expungement date. Families may also use EBT Edge to help them figure out the expungement date, although this strategy does have some math involved. EBT Edge shows the date the benefits were loaded onto the card. From there, families can add 122 days to figure out their expungement deadline. This conveniently brings us to the subject on our next slide. SunBucks cards can be used for food purchased after recipients set up their personal identification number, also known as PIN, by following the instructions that come along with the card in the mail. For enhanced security, we encourage families to download the free EBT Edge mobile app to create a PIN and learn how to protect their benefits. The EBT Edge mobile app icon is depicted here on the slide. This tool will provide enhanced card security features, including the ability to create or change their PIN, check when the benefits were loaded onto the card, card balance, and freeze and unfreeze the card. More information can be found at www.ebt.ca.gov. We will post the link in the chat. And now I'll hand it over to Giselle to talk about customer service. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Adriana. Good afternoon. My name is Giselle, and I am an analyst in the SunBucks program. We will now look at SunBucks customer service. Next slide, please. Customer service is a huge piece to ensure the success of the program. The helpline phone number is provided here on this slide and can also be found on the card mailer, on the back of the SunBucks card, and on our website. The call center helps families with PIN setup, card replacements, provide expungement dates, address changes, both general and complex eligibility questions, and field escalations to CDSS and CDE as necessary. Escalations could include requests for benefit replacements due to family misfortune, eligibility disputes, or missing eligibility. Next slide, please. Now, we'd like to share some data on the calls received in the past 2 months. The first table shows the total number of calls received in May, broken down by language for a total of 47,686 calls. The second table shows the calls received for June 1 through 9th, also broken down by language for a total of 26,986 calls. Call volume is anticipated to increase as families are now receiving SunBucks cards. Next slide, please. Duplicate card issuances. The SunBucks team was made aware last year that there were some instances in which families received more than one SunBucks card for the same child. As a reminder, each eligible child is entitled to only one issuance of $120 for the period. If a child receives more than one issuance, the family must notify the SunBucks helpline immediately by calling 877-328-9677 and must destroy the extra card received. Next slide, please. In the next few slides, we will look at SunBucks disaster response. Next slide, please. We'll start by explaining how the disaster response works for SunBucks. Families may experience a disaster or misfortune that results in food loss after they have already purchased food with their SunBucks benefits. SunBucks rules allow families to request for replacement benefits to help them recover the loss of food that they use SunBucks benefits to purchase. Families who were impacted by a disaster or misfortune have 10 days to report their food loss to the SunBucks helpline. Families' misfortunes include, but are not limited to, power outages or evacuations. Families can make a request for benefit replacements by calling 877-328-9677. Approved requests will have benefits reissued. We want to stress the benefit replacements are replacements for food that was purchased with SunBucks and subsequently lost. Families experiencing a disaster or misfortune are not automatically eligible for replacement SunBucks. Those who receive SunBucks but haven't spent any benefits yet and then experience a disaster are not eligible for replacement of benefits. For SunBucks benefits during 2024-2025, our efforts resulted in helping 448 Californian families that lost food due to a disaster. This translates to over 34,000 in benefits replaced. Next slide, please. The federally approved Timely Reporting Extension, or TRE, provides additional time for impacted SunBucks families to report their food loss due to major disasters such as wildfires, earthquakes, severe storms, and power outage in their area. The standard 10-day timeframe to report an incident of SunBucks food loss is extended to 30 days. As a reminder, families that were affected by recent disasters can make a request for the replacement of SunBucks benefits by calling 877-328-9677. Currently, we have an active TRE for Mono County, zip code 93541, due to the fire. This extension is in effect until June 20, 2025. Information about active and past timely reporting extensions can be found on the disaster response webpage, which we will be sharing in the chat. Next slide, please. When a timely reporting extension or TRE is approved, SunBucks sends out automated messages to families notifying them of the extension to request a benefit replacement. The automated messages are sent to families who have used their benefits, who live in an area of the disaster for which a TRE is approved, and have a contact phone number or email on file. Emails and text messages are sent out in English and Spanish to families approximately 5 days from the TRE approval. Families will receive an English message if their language is other than English and Spanish. Messages were sent to families in Mono County on June 12th, notifying them of the current TRE. Now I will hand things over to Steven to talk about 2025 outreach. Next slide, please.
All right, thank you, Giselle. Hi, everybody. My name is Steven Ellenberger, and I'm one of the managers on the SunBucks team. This section of our presentation is going to speak to the outreach campaigns for 2025 that will be encouraging eligible families to either apply or use their SunBucks benefits. We've gotten started with our 2025 benefit issuance messaging campaign. This messaging consists primarily of automated messages in the form of email and text, as well as the mailer insert provided within folks' SunBucks card mail envelope. Our automated messaging will not support voice messages in 2025, only text and email. As of June 16th, yesterday, we've already sent out nearly 1 million messages for our Stage 1 families, including over 755,000 emails and over 242,000 texts. Now, you may be wondering, if we've mailed out over 2 million cards, why we sent out less than 1 million messages? This has two primary reasons. First, we can only send these messages to families of kids who have an email or phone number within our systems. The second reason is that while we mail 1 card per child, we only send 1 automated message per family, meaning that we wind up sending out less automated messages. Next month, in July, we are going to launch the Applications for Families Who Get Medi-Cal Only campaign. Now, the goal of this campaign is to inform families with Medi-Cal only that they will need to apply for SunBucks on behalf of at least 1 child in their household who gets Medi-Cal without a certified household income at or under 185% of the federal poverty level. Families will receive automated emails or text messages as part of this campaign, and we're currently estimating that we will send out a total of 353,000 automated messages, including 274,000 emails and 78,000 texts for this campaign. We're also going to be distributing flyers to our stakeholders for use in outreach, and those flyers will be available on our webpage. In addition, families can stay informed of SunBucks updates through our official social media posts online. It's important to note that the families who are going to receive this campaign are an entirely different population from the folks that we just talked about. These messages for this particular campaign are specifically going to folks who are not Streamline certified for SunBucks, advising them that although their families get Medi-Cal, they are not automatically eligible and will need to apply if they want to get SunBucks benefits. In 2024, one of the lessons that we learned was that it was difficult for folks to understand this distinction. So we're trying to get ahead of it this time with proactive messaging to these families. To continue, we will also run the following campaigns shown on the screen. The How to Get SunBucks campaign consists of a general flyer, which will be shown on the next slide, and social media posts. The aim is to introduce SunBucks 2025 to the public and explain how families can get SunBucks. This flyer is available now on our webpage. The card pinning reminder campaign will also consist of a flyer, automated messaging, and social media posts. We'll be sending automated messages to all families with unpinned cards approximately 30 days after their card is mailed. Last year, we learned that some families may change addresses without our data sources necessarily being updated to reflect that. This results in their SunBucks card getting mailed to the wrong address. Now, while we encourage families to report and update any address changes to their local county office or school administrator, this effort serves as an additional tool to help families get their cards before those benefits get expunged. We're also going to be distributing flyers to our stakeholders to cover some of the most frequently asked questions about the SunBucks program. As for expungement, we're going to be including the mailing of physical postcards as part of the notification resources we have available for that particular campaign. This will allow us to reach additional families for whom a phone number or email is not available. We'll be providing more information on this effort later on in the year as it becomes available. As for disaster response, as Giselle just went over, we will send automated messaging to families in areas where a major disaster is occurring and where a timely reporting extension has been approved. Families normally have 10 days to report food loss after an event, but the timely reporting extension, or TRE, approved by FNS can extend that reporting time frame from 10 days to 30 days to request a benefit replacement. Now, as I just mentioned on the previous slide, our 2025 SunBucks General Flyer is available on the CDSS website. The flyer can be shared electronically, or you may print it out and post it if you wish. The flyer covers information including what is SunBucks, automatic enrollment for SunBucks 2025, how to get SunBucks, and some friendly reminders. Please feel free to use this flyer to spread the word about the program in your respective networks. We're going to go ahead and add the link to the webpage where this flyer is posted in the chat. Alrighty, now to support diverse families' needs, our SunBucks outreach materials are available in 19 languages, including Arabic, Armenian, Cambodian, Chinese, English, Farsi, French, Hindi, Hmong, Korean, Lao, Portuguese, Punjabi, Romanian, Russian, Spanish, Tagalog, Thai, and Vietnamese. Please note that automated messages are delivered using the family's preferred language on file. Now, if no particular preference is listed in the family's file in our data sources, we will default to English. Next up, I'm going to hand things over to Shan to cover our Q&A section.
Thank you, Stephen. Now let's review the Q&A section together. But first, a quick reminder that this webinar was recorded. A link to all presentation materials will be published on the website once available. Please note that these require time and patience for ADA accessibility and translations. You can find recordings from our prior stakeholder webinars on the SunBucks playlist as part of the CDSS YouTube channel. You can see the link on the slide. Now we'd like to hear from you. What questions do you have? You can ask your questions using the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen, and we will respond verbally and in writing. For now, I'll go over the questions that have already been asked and answered throughout the webinar. So our very first question for today's seminar was, can you clarify the household definition? If we have families who reside in the same home but are separate as in their income, preparing meals, should they still complete one UBA application, or should this be two separate UBA applications? And the answer to this question is, per the SunBucks federal regulations, a household is a group of related or non-related individuals who are not residents of an institution or onboarding house, but who are living as one economic unit. And we'll post the federal regulation link in the chat. The next question is, what companies offer an online UBA program besides Nutrilink? Will California be signing an agreement to participate in a free UBA that was developed for the USDA? And the question is, and the answer is, California is not participating in a SunBucks application that is being made available by Nutrilink. We are aware that many vendors are updating their systems to collect the information required of SunBucks compliant income forms. And the next question is the CDE aware of any SIS or POS vendors that have a compliant electronic version of the UBA? And the answer is, we do not have a list of SIS or POS vendors that have a compliant electronic version of the UBA. But our CalPATS office is engaged with vendors, and many are in the process of updating their systems to accept SunBucks compliant applications. Next question. Will you be sending the presentation to all participants afterwards? And the answer is, we generally release the slide deck and recording 4 to 6 weeks after formatting for accessibility and captions. You can access previous recordings and slide decks at www.cdss.ca.gov/SunBucks, clicking on the Partners page and Stakeholder Engagement link. The next question is, the information on a school meal application, The information on a school meal application is considered confidential. Is the information on the UBA also considered confidential? And who are we entitled to share this information with, if any? And the answer to this question is, Information that is collected on the UBA must remain confidential and only be used for the purpose of Summer EBT. There are education code changes that allow the use of information collected from a UBA to also be used for LCFF Title I purposes at the LEA. The next question is, how do you know a preschool student is categorically eligible if we do not report them to CalPADS because they are not SPED? And the answer is, while it is not mandated, LEAs may establish an SSID for preschool students. If the child is assigned an SSID and identified as eligible, they can receive SunBucks benefits. The following question is, how will we know which students with Medi-Cal are qualified? And the answer is, the identification is done at the state level. We identify eligible children using the state's automated welfare system. The next question is, thank you for working with CDE on translations of the UBA. Do we know when it will be available? And the answer is, UBA translations are available now on the CDE webpage, and we'll post the link in the chat. The next question is, if the local direct certification file lists students as foster care, but they do not appear on the county's foster youth list, should I still consider them as foster for categorical eligibility? And the answer is, please send this question to us at sunbucks@dss.ca.gov for further assistance and guidance. The next question is, if the determination is done on the state level, how will we know? If I'm telling a parent that they are directly certified and they don't have to apply, and then they don't get the card because they needed to apply, then how does that work? And the answer is, all children in California who are directly certified will be included in stage 1 of benefit issuance that Adriana was talking about during the section of 2025 key information. Families with questions about their individual eligibility can reach out to the SunBucks call center. The following question is, do you have any metrics for how many UBA forms have been filled out so far this year? And the answer is, the education data collection system was just opened for data submission on June 9th. We will have metrics on the number of children eligible through UBA later in the the SunBucks operational period. The next question is the EBT Edge mobile app the same one consumers can use for CalFresh benefits? If so, would they use the same account they created for their CF benefits to set up the SunBucks card PIN? And the answer is yes. The EBT Edge is the same app used for CalFresh benefits. They can use the same account to add their SunBucks card and set up their PIN. The following question is, am I correct that it is not required for schools to do the UBA for the 24 to 25 school year, but is required for the 25 to 26 school year? And the answer is, as proposed in the Governor's May revise, EC Section 49506.1 would mandate that LEAs then participate in the National School Lunch Program and/or school breakfast program through a federal feeding provision, such as the Community Eligibility Provision or Provision 2, collect universal benefits applications for SunBucks eligibility. The next question is, when will the resources and application be available in Spanish? And the answer is, translations of the universal benefits application are available on the CDE's Clearinghouse for multilingual documents webpage, and we'll post the link in the chat. The following question is, the 3% randomization of the proof needed with applications, who choose the randomization of applications and when is it done? The answer is local educational agencies are required to conduct verification of 3% of approved universal benefits applications. For SunBucks 2025, California is approved to conduct rolling verification. Additional verification guidance is available on the California Department of Education SunBucks webpage under the Verification tab, and we'll post the link in the chat. The next question, I have a verification question. If an application is verified and then determined to be ineligible, does that count towards our 3% verification percentage, or only apps that are verified and eligible? And the answer is, an application that is verified and found ineligible counts toward the 3% verification. The next question, are we able to see how many SunBucks cards were issued by city? It's good data to have and would help districts facilitate the collection of UBAs. And the answer is, the 2024 final outcomes report will provide the cards per county and is slated for release in fall. However, we do not have a breakdown of the current operational year, nor by city. The next question, what is your definition of an economic unit? And the answer is, per USDA, an economic unit is a group of related or unrelated people who share housing and all significant income and expenses. The following question, households that have TK students under the age of 6 will not receive a card? And the answer is, TK students who are eligible for SunBucks file streamlined eligibility or through income eligibility, UBA application, or school meal application, and who have a SSID in CalPADS are eligible for SunBucks. The next question, what about students that have extended eligibility? Will they be streamlined or should we have them fill out an UBA? And the answer is, students with extended eligibility do not need to submit UBAs. LEAs will need to upload SunBucks eligibility records for students with extended benefits to the education data collection system, as extended benefit is not an identifier that the CDE can pull from CalPADS. Okay, so these are all the questions that have been asked and answered so far in this webinar. We still have 2 pending questions, actually 3 pending questions, and we'll give some time for our team to answer them, and I will read out the answer to everyone. And and for anyone else, we still have some time that you may still be able to post your question. Okay, the next question. When we receive UBAs in June, we use the guidelines for 2024 to 2025. And if received in July and August, we use the 2025 to 2026, correct? And process them as they are received. And the answer is, that is correct. LEAs should use the income eligibility guidelines for each respective school year. Applications submitted on June 30th or prior should use the income eligibility guidelines for school year 2024 to 2025. Those submitted on July 1st, 2025 and onward should utilize the school year 2025 to 2026 income eligibility guidelines. The next question, is the rolling verification of applications determined by an auditor auditor or the district? And the answer is, LEAs are responsible for selecting 3% of approved universal benefits applications for verification. And our last question is, Following up on a previous question, are there any other group of students who do not need to submit UBA but can be uploaded to EDCS directly? And the answer is, the students that do not need to submit a UBA but should be uploaded to EDCS are those who have extended benefits and those who are locally directly certified. Okay, so that's all the questions we have received so far. And with that said, we're going to move on to our next slide, please. Now that we are already in the summer 2025 operational period, we are hosting monthly webinars. Our next webinar will be on Tuesday, July 15th from 2 to 3 p.m. Please be on the lookout for July's invite. Meanwhile, feel free to email your questions to sunbucks@dss.ca.gov. Note that this is not case sensitive. Also, remember that all webinar materials will be sent out to everyone on the email distribution list once they become available. Next slide, please. Thank you all for your participation, and we look forward to seeing you in the next webinar. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thank you.